Hello pilots and welcome to another Eve Echoes video. I'm Gromire and I'm going to be taking out my Arbitrator 3 covert ops for another round, another roam, and we're going to see if we can find any big targets. In my last video, I went over the build for the Arbitrator 3 covert ops that I use. It's specifically built for taking out battleships, and the only thing that I've switched around for this one is going to be a web instead of the scrambler, and that is just because I've been having some trouble with the drones. So we'll see if there's any situations that I run into where that comes into play. Hopefully not, because my goal is to stay out of range. I'm sure when I want the web, I'll have the scram, and if I want the scram, I'll have the web. So let's see what we got here on the scanner here. We're going to start right into it, jumping in. And a Balhorn. Okay, this will be a little bit tricky because we want to stay out of the neutralizer range. These ships are usually equipped with large neutralizers, large NOS, and can really drain your capacitor if you're not outside of those ranges. So luckily, the other change that I made that I didn't mention is I stuck a Predator warp disruptor on this. So that's going to give us the extra 2-3 kilometers that we're going to need to stay out of that large neutralizer range like we ran into last video. But let's warp in here. Let's see how it goes. Balhorn's usually really tanky. I'm not expecting to out DPS him, but maybe we can use the mobs here to our advantage. We come in cloaked, just so we can get that good range, set our orbit, and then right when we're ready, we pop that cloak off, turn on our micro warp drive, lock him as fast as possible, and see if we can get that disruptor and that tracking disruptor going. Okay, we are locked here. We got our disruptor on him. Hopefully he's not stabbed, but you never know. Most people are stabbed these days. Disruptor's on. I don't see him targeting me, so maybe he's a little bit not paying attention. Let's hope. But yeah, drones are putting on the damage here. We got our drone burst with the bombard implant. You'll notice it's not going to take out a huge chunk of his armor here because they just have so much armor with the battleships, but our goal is to kind of wear them down over time, along with the NPC rats. Because we don't have a lot of NPCs helping out though, this might be a long fight. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward through the majority of this and just see how long my capacitor can hang on.
But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Okay, this fight's going on for about 7, almost 8 minutes now. I'm still at about 40% capacitor, but as you can see, a hurricane is going to warp in on me, and I just don't feel comfortable with a 2 versus 1. Even though I am seemingly wearing down the Balhorn, 2 versus 1 doesn't feel good with a cannon ship, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my losses here. It was a good fight and a good learning experience because now I know that I have the capacitor to outlast there. I think I needed more NPC rats fighting him. Okay, we're back. We found another ship and an anomaly. We're going to scan it down, see what ship we're dealing with. And Rattlesnake. Okay, this one's going to be tricky because it's got the drones. I've fought a couple Rattlesnakes before and they completely destroyed me. So my strategy here is going to be warp in and target his drones first so they eliminate the DPS, and then hopefully I can outlast the tank. But we'll see, because there's 13 people in this system, so I probably won't be able to last before help comes again. But let's give it a shot anyway. You never know what's going to happen, and that's part of the adventure. Okay, warping in cloaked here. I could warp in uncloaked. I'm just a little bit worried about the NPCs targeting me right away, so I go ahead and make sure that everything is a little bit safe. Get a good distance before I'm going to decloak so that he has the absolute least amount of time to warp away as possible. We'll set our orbit on the target before we uncloak so that we don't have to worry about that afterwards. We can just decloak, hit that micro warp drive, and we're already orbiting at our optimal. I definitely need to go back and change my overview so that I can see enemy drones on there so that I can lock those up right away. They're not showing up on my overview right now, so that's something that I want to be aware of if I'm going to be continuing to hunt other drone ships. It could be useful. So we got wave 404 here. A new wave spawns on him. This is what I wanted. This is better than the Balcorn fight because we have the NPCs to help me out on the damage. So we're going to pop our cloak off, turn on micro warp drive, target this thing. We're already orbiting. About 6-7 second delay on there, which is not too bad when you think about it, a battleship not being able to warp off that fast. And we have our disruptor on him, so we'll wait for the drones to engage us, and then we'll try and take him out, defang him as they call it, and see if we can outlast him with the extra DPS from the rats. Okay, you can see him yellow boxing us in the top right there, red boxing. So we know he's going to be coming after us soon. We've got to find those drones that he has in space so we can take them off. Really wish I had that set up on my overview. Alright, looks like he's using some sniper drones right now, so they're not going to have very good tracking against me. I'm not too worried about the DPS output here, but I will take them out just in case. If anything, it's going to make him more vulnerable because he won't be able to take out the NPCs that are also shooting. And with that bombard implant, you can see me just totally laying into his drones here. They're not going to last very long. This shouldn't be too much. No. Okay. Yep. He's stabbed. Well, we gave it a shot. What else you can do, right? It's one of the downsides of solo hunting. There's only so many slots for disruptors. Okay, warping through this gate here, we can see a worm sitting at a great distance off the gate, only about 25 kilometers, so it's not like he's hugging the gate. Debating on if I want to give this a shot. I am a little bit afraid of the small drones because they have such a good tracking, and with the bombard implant, I know it's going to be huge damage. So, but maybe he's AFK. I don't know. Let's give it a shot, huh? All right, let's make sure we're recording. Always want to make sure you're recording before every fight. Yep, there it goes. Let's do it. Hit our orbit, hit our micro warp drive. We don't know what kind of range he's working with the missiles, so if we can stay out of the small missile range, that could be helpful for the overall DPS. Tackle. Oh, yep, that's a lot of damage. Let's put on the damage control unit. Okay, he's into our armor here. He did pop an extender, but we burned through that pretty quick with the bombard. Okay, so we're going to approach here instead of orbiting because we want to get within web range. We want to slow him down for our drones to have better tracking. And there we go, hit the web. Tracking disruptor is not going to matter. Oh man, we're getting through armor here, but he's taking some huge hits. Almost. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Well, you know, everybody fits their ships how they want, and if you want to fit them with warp stability, I guess that's fine. We'll just give them a good fight in local and move on, I guess. And we're back. Woo-sa. All calm. Okay. we're warping through neutral space here, and I have seen the same name pop up in local pretty consistently, following my same path, so I'm going to head towards the next gate, back to the gate that I was coming through. And we're going to see if the name, yep, there's the name right there. We're going to see if we can get to the gate and just kind of sit on it and catch him before he warps off. It could be a scepter, it could be a travel ship, we'll see. But this is why I always have local open. I'm always paying attention to the names that come up. We'll sit here for a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's coming through this gate because this is the gate that I came through before that. And we'll wait out the timer for the cloak here and see if we can get him to pop out here and grab him. Just in case it's something crazy like a capital ship, I'm going to be 3 kilometers from the gate here. We'll see. Timer's almost up. Okay, frigate. Herring covert ops. Let's grab it as fast as possible. We don't have that lock delay because we didn't use our covert ops cloak. And disruptor should be pretty quick because they're very fragile. Boom. About 2 hits, 2 seconds. Oh, got some more names popping up in local here. That could have been a trap, so we're going to keep an eye on it. Grab the loot as fast as we can. We don't want eyes on us. There's another name popping up in local. Nothing crazy on the loot, but we are getting a spike, so I'm gonna take off here just to play it safe. I did end up circling back and checking out the ships that were coming through while cloaked, and it was 4 battleships, including a nightmare. So it was either a trap or it was an escort, and I killed the eyes. So I'm okay with that. At least I finally got a Killmail. Okay, this next one was a little bit interesting because this is the first time I've actually been openly challenged for PvP while warping through the systems. And he's actually asking me to come to Sun. So I don't know what ship he's in. I scanned him down earlier and he was in a Raven Striker. So I'm hoping he's still in a Raven Striker, but we're going to warp into the Sun cloaked and we're going to kind of see what he's working with because I don't like going in there blind. That's one of the advantages of using the covert ops cloak, so I might as well take every advantage I can get. And a red is coming into the system now. We want to be careful that we aren't being tricked here into a 2 versus 1 scenario. This is why I usually don't warp to the Sun. We'll warp in here cloaked and we'll see what we're working with. Cinnabal. Okay, that's going to be a tricky one because those are really fast and I'm usually just trying to outspeed battleships. I only have about 2.6 kilometers per second speed, so I don't know if I can stay within range of him. Let's see. Wait, he's getting closer. My cloak is off? How did my cloak go off? I'm being targeted. Oh gosh, this was so not how I wanted this to go, but we don't have a choice, so let's go ahead and lock him back. We're not going to be able to get distance. He's got us scrammed already. Tracking disruptor is not going to matter at this range. We do have the web, so we can see if we can pull away, but oh my god. I must have run into that building. Yeah, we're not going to be able to outlast this. Our DCU is going to go down. He's just popped an extender. So we're not even getting into his armor here. Yeah, we're going through hull. Unbelievable. Well, learn from my mistakes, guys. When you warp to the Sun, there might be a building there, and then your cloak won't matter. So, good fight. Totally just ran into a citadel, into a pos, and ruined my advantage there. But, oh well, you know, sometimes you lose, and I don't want to just show you guys when I win. I also want to show my losses. So, that is my first loss in a couple weeks. And it does suck that it was because of a stupid mistake. But learn from my mistakes. Alright, we have rebuilt the Arbitrator 3 from that loss, and we have found a Raven Striker here. So we're going to warp in at 100 kilometers because I did scan a fleet rally point on this one. I know he's not going to be close up on a capital anomaly, so we know he's going to be at range. So we're going to warp in at 100 kilometers and kind of get an idea of where he's at. Okay, landing here cloaked. I remember some advice that was given to me in my last Arbitrator PvP video, so I'm going to put that up on the screen here. Another thing you could have done is when you warped to the Chimera at first when you were cloaked, you were at a good distance enough to warp to it again using the original scan. It will say it's maybe around 280 kilometers on your page, and then you can re-warp to it and get range quickly. So we're going to go ahead and try that trick right now. Thank you very much for the tip. We're going to open up our scan tool here from Star Charts. Go to combat side, pick the same scan for the Raven Striker, and we're going to see if we can warp closer to it. Nice. Okay, so he thinks he's safe sitting about 302 kilometers off of the center here. But yep, there we go. Warp right up close to him. This is about in our disruptor range, so we're going to head and start our orbit, uncloak, hit our micro warp drive, and try and select him as fast as possible before he warps away. He could be approaching the Citadel right now. And locked, disrupted, tracking disruptor. Don't know why I hit that. Don't want to have that on for missile ships because we'll just waste our capacitor. We do have about 7 other people in this system that could come to his aid, so we want to keep an eye on any warp-ins. Should be at a good enough distance to where the NPCs aren't targeting us. And it looks like he's a long-range Raven Striker, so he's trying to do this capital anomaly at about 300 kilometers. I don't know how much tank he's running here because he is probably not used to things hitting him if he's going to be fighting at this range. And our drones are doing a great job of ticking his shields down. Raven Strikers are usually a shield tanked ship, so if we can get through his shields, we're going to apply a lot more DPS to his armor and hull. Definitely don't want this to be a long drawn out fight. He is hitting us for a little bit of damage now, but with those large long range missiles, it's going to be very little damage. Let's recall our drones, set up another drone bomb just so we can keep the pressure up on him in case he has a large shield going. And back in the hold, click on the drone bombard, fire away again. Doesn't look like he's repping any, so we might just be able to break through him here. Unsure if he's asleep. I don't think he's asleep because he did target us back. And he does have a NOS on us, but I think we're out of range. Again, that Predator Warp Disruptor keeping us out of range of the large NOS, out of the large newt, and keeping us safe here. So our kite build is definitely doing a good job, even against the missile ship. You can see our capacitor still at 64%, still at half shields. Just chunking away at his armor now, halfway through armor. This is looking good, guys. Okay, almost into hull. We are low shield. He's gonna start hitting our armor soon, so I might just pop my DCU just for an extra precaution, but I think if he had any stability, he'd be gone by now. Yep, 36% capacitor, everything looks good. I don't want to approach to get him in scram range because I don't want him to hit me with that large newt. So we're just going to maintain our distance here. There it goes. I'm into armor now. We're going to pop the DCU as a precaution. So close. Let's get ready to loot. Yes! Yes! Beautiful. Beautiful. Exactly as I wanted it to go. We're going to pick up his loot here. Hopefully we got something good. Honestly, it doesn't even matter. That is exactly what I wanted to accomplish. I set out to kill a battleship. I got a battleship striker, Raven Striker. I am totally happy with this. Thank you so much to the comment from last video's comment section about warping to the Raven Striker. Otherwise, that wouldn't have happened. I'm ecstatic. You have no idea.
Warp drive active.
Unfortunately, that was followed up with APOC Striker, APOC Striker, APOC Striker, and warp in, not there. Warp in, warped off. And warp in, already warping off. So, no luck for the rest of the night on that end, but I did get the Raven Striker, so that's, I mean, I really can't fault these guys for doing what you're supposed to do, which is when you see a neutral or a red in your system, just warp back to station. It's probably not worth it, but it did deprive me of the opportunity to get another battleship kill this night. All right, this one's going to be a quick tip for scanning. If you ever scan something down and you see right there a glowing asteroid belt, just warp to it. Don't even scan it down to find out what ship it is. Just warp straight to the asteroid belt. You're not going to have a whole lot of time because most miners are either going to cloak or they're going to warp to station right away because they're not great at fighting back. So if you see that glowing asteroid belt on your scanner, don't even hesitate. Just go right to it. Turn off your covert ops cloak so that you can target and lock onto something as soon as you land. It's going to be very, very rare that a combat ship is going to be in the same area as a mining ship. And even if it is, you usually have enough time to warp away before anything's going to tackle you. So looks like we got a little mining fleet here, a little multi-box mining fleet. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Orca first because that's probably the most lucrative ship here. And we are locked onto him. It looks like they might be AFK. We're going to lock all of them just in case the drones start flying out. It's very unlikely that we can handle the DPS of 4 of these ships with drones, but you never know. And I like to say that a lot, you never know. So we'll put ourselves into a position that we could take advantage just in case. It looks like he is AFK. He possibly is asleep with a little mining fleet here. I do have the warp scrambler on him as well. We're going to orbit at a closer range so that we can keep that scrambler on him. So we have 6 points of stability against him. I'll have to go back and check, but I don't think an Orca has any natural stability bonuses to its hull. It might have a nanocore with a stability bonus, but we'll see. The good thing is that he didn't cloak up, so we do have him tackled for now. Still no drones coming out, so I'm guessing this is an AFK Orca. We might get really lucky here. I could switch over and start targeting the Coveter 2s, but I don't want to lose any warp stability on this Orca here. And if he is asleep, I want to burst this down as fast as possible. Pretty soon he's going to get that warning message that you are under attack, and I don't need that waking him up before I have a chance to knock down this expensive ship. There is a potential for a very valuable red beaver mod on these. We're talking 15 billion. If he's carrying it, so this is really exciting. We got him into armor now, really chunking his armor down. Orcas definitely have more shield than they have armor. Okay, we're watching local. We got no other names popping in. It's just this mining fleet here. Okay, we're almost into hull here. 2,500 coming in from the drones. Let's start getting ready to take out the rest of these Coveter 2s. I actually don't want to change my orbit here. I don't want to start orbiting the Coveter 2 because I don't want to get out of scram range of the Orca, so we're going to cancel that. It's got a lot of hull hit points, so this might take a little while. Nobody joining system, guys. This is great. Gonna get ourselves an AFK orca right here. Wait. What's happening? Can I lock him? He had warp stability in the low slots. Looks like he got me to unlock. I lost my disruptor, my scram.
Warp drive active.
And you know what? You're a tease, sir. You, sir, are a tease for letting me get that close to that kill. Shame. Shame on you. All right, let's take a look at the highlight here. The Raven Striker kill, long-range missiles, just like I thought. He didn't really have a whole chance of hitting me. Mid-slots, yep. Neutralizer, didn't matter. Actually ended up he was running no tank and all DPS. So this is what happens when you think you're safe at 300 kilometers. So despite the misses, the loss of ship, and the runaways that consistently happen because of warp stability, I am happy with this kill, and it is good proof of concept that I can take out a battleship with a Arbitrator covert ops. So we'll get back out there and try again next time. Thanks for watching.